Hello everybody, I am Shaikh, Assistant Professor from Electrical Engineering Department, and today we are going to continue our Electrical Safety Unit number 6. Okay, so last time we have already covered topics like causes of accident, prevention of accident, and precautions to be taken, and the personal protective equipments that are required. In this video, we shall see what are the different safe work practices that should be followed. The following practices may reduce risk of injury or fire when working with electrical equipments. So these are some of the things you should keep in mind while working with electrical equipments. Keep away from energized or loaded circuits. Sources of electricity and export circuits must be guarded properly. Disconnect the device from the source in the period of service or maintenance of the device. Disconnect the power source before servicing or repairing electrical equipments. Every time when you use electrical equipment, see that the contacting parts must be dry and wear non-conducting gloves and insulated sole shoes. It is safe to work with only one hand. Keep the other hand away from all conductive material. This step reduces accident that results in current passing through the chest cavity. Utilization of electrical equipment in cold rooms must be minimized due to condensation issues. If the devices interacts with water or other liquid chemicals, equipments must be shut off power at the main switch or switch circuit breaker and unplugged. If an individual comes in contact with a live circuit, do not touch the equipment, source, cord or individual. Disconnect the power source from the circuit breaker or pull out the plug using a leather belt. In the event of an electric shock, uh, in the event of an electric shock, what must you do? First of all, the symptoms of an electric shock depend on how severe it is. The potential symptoms of an electric shock include loss of consciousness, muscle spasms, numbness or tingling, breathing problems, headache, problems with vision or hearing, burns, seizures, irregular heartbeats. Electric shocks can also cause compartment syndrome. Now, this happens when muscle damage causes our limbs to swell. In turn, this can compress arteries, leading to serious health problems. Compartment syndrome might not be noticeable immediately after the shock, so keep an eye on your arms and legs following a shock. In the event of an electric shock, um, or someone else who has been shocked, what you must do. So if someone else has been shocked, you immediately respond can give a big impact on minimizing the effect of an electric shock. If you have been shocked, if you receive an electric shock, it might be difficult for you to do anything, but try to start with the following. If you think you have been severely shocked, let go of the electric source as soon as you can. If you can, call for a local emergency services. If you can't, yell for someone else around you to call. Don't move unless you need to move away from the electric source. If the shock feels minor, see a doctor as soon as you can, even if you don't have any noticeable symptoms. Remember, some internal injuries are hard to detect at first. In the meantime, cover any burns with a sterile gauze. Don't use adhesive bandages or anything else that might stick to the burn. This is very important. If someone else has been shocked, keep several things in mind to help them and keep yourself safe. Don't touch someone who has been shocked if they're still in contact with the source of electricity. Do not move someone who has been shocked unless they are in danger of further shock. Turn off the flow of electricity if possible. If you can't, move the source of electricity away from the person using a non-conducting object. Wood and rubber are both good options. Just sure you don't use anything that's wet or metal based. Stay at least 20 feet away if they've been shocked by high voltage power lines that are still on. Call local emergency services if the person was struck by lightning or if they came into contact with high voltage electricity such as power lines. Call local emergency services if the person has trouble breathing, loses consciousness, has seizures, has muscle pain or numbness, or is feeling symptoms of a heart issue, including fast heartbeat. Check the person's breathing and pulse. If necessary, start CPR until emergency help arrives. If the person is showing shocks of sign such as vomiting or becoming faint or very pale, elevate their legs and feet slightly unless this causes too much pain. Cover burns with sterile gauze if you can. Don't use band-aids or anything that will stick to the burn. Keep the person warm. How are electric shock treated? If in the injury seems minor, it's crucial to see a doctor after an electric shock to check for internal injuries. Depending on the injuries, potential electric shock treatments include burn treatment, including the application of antibiotic ointment and sterile dressing, pain medication, intravenous fluids, a tetanus shot depending on the source of the shock and how it occurred. For several shocks, a doctor may recommend staying in the hospital for a day or two so they can monitor you for any heart issues or any severe injuries. Finally, we will see what should be the contents of the first aid box. So, a typical contents of the first aid box include elastic bandages, emergency blankets, antiseptic wipes, scissors, tweezers, gloves, emergency contact information, medical information for family members, first aid manual, triangular bandages, thermometers, safety pins, adhesives, then gaze rolls and pads. Apart from this, there should be few medications like aspirin, then betadine, some medicines for headache, some a few over the OTC, that is over the counter medicines which are normally prescribed by doctors, should be kept um, in your first aid box. Always remember safety first. Electricity is a good servant but a bad master. Therefore, always take care and always be safe. Thank you.